So how does a roulette lock work? Let's get over it. Apart from the typical Nuzlocke rules, the main catch here is the way we obtain Pokemon during our journey across the Kanto region. I'll get 2 random numbers from 1 to 386 and then I will check the national Pokédex to find out which Pokemon are associated with that number. Then, using some trickery magic, I'll be able to find them in the nearest route to capture them. However, I can only get 2 random numbers every time I get a new gym badge, so the total number of Pokemon I can get during this playthrough is 18. This may seem a lot, but remember that permadeath is always lurking behind me, and if I have too many losses, I won't be able to face the Pokémon League with a full team. Anyways, that is pretty much all the rules of this roulette lock. So let's see how it went, shall we? Pokémon Fire Red, a classic. 3rd gen sprites, absolutely crispy, delightful. Game starts as usual, with Professor Oak talking a lot of crap until he lets me choose a starter. I will take Squirtle, but as soon as I catch my first 2 Pokemon, I won't be able to use it anymore. I spin the wheel and get Nosepass and Absol. I catch Nosepass, name it Dr. Stone, and later find Absol, who I name Rani. And with that, the roulette lock officially begins. I decide to level up my Pokemon a bit and I find this strange golden Pidgey. I don't know why it looks like this, but I decide to kill it as it is probably a game bug or something. After leveling up, I make my way through Viridian Forest and I go straight to Brock's gym. This battle against Camper Liam was really tough. I was way under leveled to fight him and my Pokemon are not really good against rock types. I opened with Rani and soon I realized that I had no other choice than scratch the hell out of this Geodude. Geodude's tackles lower Rani's HP to 5 and I pray while attacking that Geodude doesn't finish me off. Luckily for me, for some absurd reason this tiny rock ball goes for defense curl 3 times in a row, so my Absol survives the encounter. For Sandshrew, I switch to Nosepass and I raise my defenses up and slowly take Sandshrew out, hoping he doesn't crit. I survive the fight, go heal up, and it's time to face Brock. On this occasion, I decide to lead with Nosepass and use Harden to prepare myself for the following Pokemon, since this Geodude is not a menace right now. We Metapod fight each other until we decide to attack, and 1 HP at a time, I slowly take out Geodude. However, now my Nosepass has 6 remaining HP and is not prepared to face Onix. I decide to stay, though. Nosepass can easily chip in some damage before switching if Onix does not crit me. That is, until Onix uses Bind, making it impossible to switch to Rani, and suddenly, Dr. Stone fate is sealed. Goodbye, Rocky friend. Rani comes out and starts scratching Onix, but the Rock Serpent is a defense wall and his health goes down really slow. We start trading attacks until we both get into red, but a Rock Tomb critical hit buries my Absol, ending this attempt at Brock. It is time for the second attempt, so I roll the dice and get Shiftry and Spheal, which is already a great improve since the last run. Hopefully, Spheal can swipe Brock and I'll get the first gym badge. The rest plays out really similar to the first run, leveling up, facing the trainers in Viridian Forest and entering the first gym. The battle against Brock is extremely easy with Santa. Water Gun the Geodude, Water Gun the Onix, and that's it. For this attempt, baby! As I earn my first gym badge, it is time to roll the dice again. I get a Murkrow, who I decide to call Crew, and a shady Lilip called Patches. I enter Mount Moon and make my way through it thanks to Santa and his powerful Water Gun, until I reach the Team Rocket Scientist. It is a really tough fight, but fortunately, Crew is able to clutch the battle with just 2 HP remaining. I could have easily lost the run here. Anyways, I get my reward by picking up the Helix fossil and admiring it as a godsend from the heavens. I arrive to Cerulean City, and after destroying my rival and helping Bill becoming human again, it is time to face Misty. Santa takes out Staryu with no effort, but the real battle begins with Starmie. This monster is super fast, hits like a fucking truck, and has really high defense. Santa body slams Starmie twice before I switch to Leaf, who I hope can get me out of this situation. However, a critical hit leaves me in the red, forcing me to switch to Crew. My Murkrow has Pursuit, which can defeat Starmie for sure, but I don't know if he will survive Starmie's next attack. I cross my fingers and order Murkrow to pursue. The Water Pulse almost kills him, but Crew actually manages to survive and I make it past Misty with my team alive. With the second gym badge in my pocket, it is time to roll the dice again and...
Charmeleon! Charmeleon!
This is huge. Oh, and Slugma, I guess. I also got Slugma. I name them Chops and Tim. I defeat an innocent bystander and continue to Vermilion City, where I find a generous sugar daddy that buys a bike for me. Thank you so much. After that, I embark on the SSN, and there I find Weskis again. Weskis Wartortle starts trading with my Murkrow, and I believe that with another pursuit I'll down it. But sadly enough, Wartortle survives with 1 HP, critical hits Crew, and murders him. Rest in peace, you edgy emo bird. After the fight, I go to the captain's headquarters and I... rub his shoulders in a sexy manner? Okay, what the fuck, Game Freak? Never ask me how I got it, but with the HM cut in my hands, now I disembark the ship, which leaves with my virginity. And now I can face the third gym, and I'll have to stop you right there for a second, because
the third gym's puzzle just fucking sucks. Who in their right mind would make a random puzzle that you have to hit twice? It makes no sense. I spend too much time on this and I am so mad.
Well, time to face Lieutenant Surge. I lead with my boy Chops and 2-hit Voltorb. He then sends Pikachu and I switch out Charmeleon. Why? Because I got screeched and I will need this bad boy healthy for what's coming ahead. I send out Tim, who gets insta-paralyzed, and he takes out Pikachu with a couple of rock throws. After that, Raichu appears. This fucking Pokemon terrifies me. Just as with Starmie, he is super fast, super strong, and has a petty smile that communicates me, I am going to murder all of you. I decide to sacrifice Tim to safely get out Chops. Raichu starts double teaming like the bastard he is, and soon I realize I am in trouble. I then make a fatal mistake. For some stupid reason, I smokescreen Raichu, even though he has Shockwave, which is an attack that never misses. Oh, and by the way, one single Shockwaves almost gets half of Chop's HP, so I am I send out Patches to deal with the situation, but he's no match against Raichu. Acid makes some damage, but it is not enough, and soon I have to make room for Leaf to take cover. My Shiftry tries to tank the Shockwaves as he uses Cut, but then the Lieutenant uses a Super Potion. Now, I am really I try to keep cutting Raichu as my Shiftry gets to 4 HP. Raichu now sees a kill with Quick Attack, so he tries that move. But thanks to the earlier smoke screens, he misses twice, and I manage to get in some damage. However, he finally gets Leaf and his murder count raises to 2 of my Pokemon. I send Patches, hoping to have the same Quick Attack situation, but Raichu got tired of it, so he decides to murder my third Pokemon instead. I then send Phil, who dies in 1 hit, and the final hope of this run is Chops. He misses the Ember, gets Quick Attacked, and instantly dies. So yeah, that was it. That was my second run. On my third attempt at this, I get a Sableye called Moash, and a Steelix named Dwayne. Dwayne has a strange color, but I love him anyways. I get past Brock easily using Nightshade and then capture my next 2 encounters, Tailo and Caravana. Or as I should say, Azur and Raoden. The game then proceeds as usual until Misty Starmie decides to murder my entire team. Yep, just like that. So that's run number 3. When I roll the dice in my 4th run, I get a Horsey, who I name Vend, and a Linun, who gets to be called Luz. I bubble Brock's entire team and capture afterwards a Fanfi named Mooney and a Trapinch named Bitey. As you may have guessed at this point, Starmie once again proceeded to murder my entire team. This motherfucker. 5th attempt, let's go! Roll the dice, get Pokemon, simple as that. Roselia, name it Luzagot. Magby, name it Ron for some reason. Brock Gym, absorbed. Roll the dice again. I got Claus, the Zangoose, and Polar the Staryu. It is Misty time again. Staryu goes down with a Mega Drain, and then my Nemesis appears. But this time, I am prepared. Roselia, you can do this. Murder this Tyrant. And it's as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. Just get a Roselia in the spinning roulette, Mega Drain the Starmie, get a critical hit, and that is it. It is simple as that. It is time to go to the 3rd gym badge. But on the way, I catch a Machamp, who I call Gigachat. And also I get a Walrein? Dude, this just might be it. I named the Walrein Santa, my dear Santa, and the rest goes as usual. Go to the SS On, fight Weskies, rub some shoulders, and then I enter the third gym. I spent another eternity solving this shitty puzzle, and it is time to fight Lieutenant Surge. I'm back. I fire punch his Voltorb with Ron, and I do the same with Pikachu. Then, my personal nightmare fuel appears. Raichu. I am not sure if my Ron can survive this monster, but I have to try it anyways. I miss the fire punch, get paralyzed, and Raichu just keeps double teaming. In my mind, right now I have Vietnam flashbacks. Ron manages to land a fire punch, which does considerable damage, and then lands a second. Could this be it? I switch to Roselia, who tanks the quick attack, and my plan here is to use Leech Seed to down Raichu. Leech Seed will also heal my Pokemon every turn, so they will also be less likely to get murdered by this yellow smiley rat. The first Leech Seed misses. Roselia is already not looking too good right now, so if I do not connect the Leech Seed right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to announce we are escaping early game hell. Poison Point also poisons Raichu, and the Mega Drain makes sure Raichu won't even dare to come back from beyond the grave. And just like that, I earn the third gym badge, and this becomes my furthest attempt at Pokemon Fire Red Roulette Lock. I roll the dice for my next encounters and... Oh my god! Future Milotic and Meganium? Hello? I name the Phoebus Koi, and Meganium gets named Stego. I go through the rock tunnel without being able to see anything, but somehow manage to escape it. The somehow consists of looking at map layouts online, but don't tell anyone. I reach Lavender Town, battle some trainers, go through the underground passage, and I finally arrive at Celadon City, where the 4th gym leader awaits me. Before that, however, I enter the casino and discover the secret Team Rocket hideout. I beat all the Team Rocket grunts I can find, and after some spinny puzzles I met Giovanni, the legendary Mafia boss. That has a level 25 Onix. I lead with Polar and I Water Pulse him away. Next is Rhyhorn, who is even more pathetic than Onix, and he also goes down with the Water Pulse. And then... Kangaskhan level 29. Maybe with the Water Pulse he will also go down? Okay, he didn't, but at least he got confused. Alright, it is time for Leech Seed shenanigans. I switch to Lucerot, and I don't get punished since Kangaskhan hurts himself. I go for Leech Seed, Kangaskhan gets hurt again, and the Leech Seed connects. Now it is just a matter of stalling enough to survive with all my team members alive. Lucerot also paralyzes Kangaskhan, who snaps out of confusion and gets immediately paralyzed. So that's great. The Leech Seed does the rest, and I just get hit once. The Goddess of Fortune was by my side in this battle. After using an escape route, I decided to visit the 4th gym and claim my badge. My battle with Erika begins with Ron fire punching Victreebel like a madman. Next is Tangela, who also gets sent to hell by Ron's mighty fist. Finally, there's Vileplume, who manages to stun Spore me and chip in some damage before Ron incinerates it. This battle was really easy, and as an ultimate flex, Ron decides to evolve to Magmar after the fight. You ace it, Ron. Next, I go get Fly, and I sadly realize none of my Pokemon can learn it. Since I earned a new gym badge, it is once again time to roll the dice and see what Pokemon I get. Oh my god! Charizard and Tyranitar? 7-year-old me would be vibing right now. I named Charizard Midir and Tyranitar Caesar. After these two new incredible additions to the team, it is time to go to the Pokemon Tower. Weskis is waiting me there ready to fight, but honestly, have you seen my team? Wait, do we even bother to fight? Anyways, I crush him and then slowly make my way up the tower. I put Cubone's mother to peacefully rest and find Mr. Fuji, who had been kidnapped by Team Rocket grunts. He thanks me by giving me the Pokemon Flute, so I fly to Celadon City to move Snorlax out of the way. I enter Route 16 and find my way through the Bike Gang, using Charizard to clear out my enemies. However, carelessly putting my low HP Charizard in front of a Weezing is really dangerous. If he manages to crit me, one of my most valuable Pokemon would end up dead. Surely, I am not that big of an idiot, right? 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 Anyways, Ron, welcome back to the team. I enter the 5th gym in Fuchsia Town, hoping that no more Pokemon die on my watch. But I am not sure if I'll be able to fulfill that promise. By the way, I discovered way f***ing late, like last year, that these white lines mark the invisible walls that you cannot cross in this gym. Nevertheless, it is Koga time. I think it's Koga time. He leads with coughing, I lead with Giga Chat, which I soon realized might not have been the best option. I decide to stay with him as he gets intoxicated, as I thought he could easily take out coughing. I was right. Next is Mook, and my Giga Chat cannot stay there, so I switch to Santa. Mook starts minimizing himself, but my Wolverine hit him twice in a row and paralyzed him with just one body slam. Mewk manages to poison me as Koga heals him, and I have to switch to Caesar to finish the job. And boy is Caesar pissed. Rock Slide does a fair amount of damage and I'm able to take Mook out, but unfortunately Tyranitar gets intoxicated before doing that. Coughing is next, and a Rock Slide almost insta-kills him. I miss the second Rock Slide, but the third manages to connect. Weezing is the last Pokemon to appear, and the Toxic has already left Tyranitar with one foot on the grave. So I switched to Meganium, which was a terrible idea. Don't do this at home, folks. I then switch to Polar, convinced that I'll need to make a sacrifice to win this battle. Polar gets poisoned, but manages to set up a light screen before going down. Now I can safely get out Ron and fire punch this motherfucker until he goes down. And that gives me the gym badge and 2 more new Pokemon. I battled some trainers in some routes I had yet to explore, and afterwards I went to Saffron City, which has been overrun by the Team Rocket. I infiltrated Sylph headquarters, and half my way to the CEO's office, Wesky pops out of nowhere and decided it's a good time to fight. The battle was pretty standard, besides from an epic Rock Slide flinch from Caesar that made taking down Gyarados really easy. I arrived to the CEO's office, and it is time to battle Giovanni 2, Electric Boogaloo. I lead with Close the Sangoose and double Swords Dance before slashing in half Nidorino. Nidoqueen comes out and also gets slashed in half, but she barely makes it out alive, so a quick attack puts her down. Kangaskhan is next, but she's not as powerful as before, and dies from a single slash. Finally, I also try to slash Rhyhorn, but that goes less well, so I must switch to Meganium to finish the job. Now that Saffron City is liberated from the Team Rocket's tyranny, and I have the Master Ball, I can face the 6th gym, which is the Sidekick one. I face Sabrina, and Caesar starts basically biting anything that comes in his way. Caesar gets confused at one point, but that doesn't stop him from destroying the entire Sabrina's team. Time to spin the wheel again. Clefable, named Rosie, and Tangela, named Roots. After those catches, I surf to Cinnabar Island, search for a lost key in the Pokemon Manor, and quest around the 7th gym to make my way to Blaine, the 7th gym leader. This battle was not that interesting. I lead with Santa, clicked on Surf 4 times, and it was over. I am joking, of course. For the level 47 Arcanine, I had to click Surf 3 extra times as he kept healing with Hyper Potions. But anyways, that's the 7th gym badge. One more to go. After that, I went to do that 3-ticket stuff, which is boring as fuck, and I wouldn't include it in this video if it weren't for that one time I faced a double battle, I switched to Ron, sped up the game, and he somehow instantly died. Reviewing the footage in slow motion, I discovered he got a critical hit, but yeah, that's that. Rest in peace, Ron. Your death was super anticlimactic. Anyways, I came back from that little detour and realized I hadn't rolled the dice. The roulette, Landa, the roulette. The one thing that makes me able to get a cool title video. So I spin the wheel and get Feraligatr or Feraligatr, which is awesome and Sandshrew. They get called Ruli and Dercy accordingly. Time for Giovanni's Fight 3, Resurrection of the Bad Guy. In a really weird plot twist, we learn that the Mafia boss is actually the 8th gym leader. He leads with Rhyhorn, and I surf him out my way with Santa. He then sends another Rhyhorn, who shares the same fate as the first one. Nidoqueen comes out, gets surfed, and leaves. This gym so far is playing out really similar to the last one. Nidoking comes to revenge her, but gets also insta-killed by Senna's surf. Duke Trio actually manages to get a critical hit Earthquake that takes out a third of Santa's HP right before getting taken out by Surf. Giovanni retires from being a Mafia boss and gym leader out of shame, and I have earned all the gym badges. I just got one challenge ahead, the Pokémon League. But before that, I catch a Dodrio and name it Trirdy, and I also get a Lunatone and call it Rena. Right after that, my nemesis Weskis pops out of nowhere once again to challenge me. Nothing important happens in this battle. I pushed my luck, Rock Sliding Gyarados, and a rain boosted Hydro Pump almost killed my Tyranitar. But I switched to Stego and everything played out nicely. By the way, now it's the perfect time to tell you that if I hadn't chosen Bulbasaur at the start in this run, Weskis wouldn't have Gyarados in his team, so I could have had a lot of less problems with his team had I picked another starter. But anyways, I won the fight and moved on. I breezed through the victory road without problems and arrived at the Pokémon League. I prepared my team and came up with this roster, which, in retrospective, maybe it wasn't the greatest choice. 5 fights separate me now from my first Pokémon Fire Red Roulette Lock victory. They are the 5 toughest, sure, so I'll need to give it my all. First is Lorelei with her Ice-type team, and after giving it a bit of thought, I decided to lead with Stego to set up Reflect and Light Screen. That was a terrible idea, but I didn't know at the time. I set up Light Screen, Giga Drain Dugong, and so far so good.
That's pretty good.
Dugong set up a Hail, but you know, I am fine. I Giga Drain again, and Dugong survives with just 1 HP.
Ooh, that's kind
The
of small.
feared Ice Beam comes, and I tank it pretty well, so I keep going. Even though Dugong gets healed completely, I kept Giga Draining her and leave her once again with 1 HP. Dugong decides to Ice Beam, but this time it is not a regular Ice Beam. No, 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 no! It is a critical hit Mega Ice Beam that goes through my Light Screen, Stego's defenses, and my immune system even so. Stego gets murdered in 1 hit, and my jaw drops, as I am real now. I sent out Giga Chat, hoping he will be able to solve this fight. A low kick ends the Dugong, and Slowbro comes out. Fuck. Giga Chat cannot stay there, so I switch to Scissor. I know the risks, as I can get hit by a water type move, but just like managers working at video game companies, I think Crunch is my only option here. And just like it happens to them, things go horribly wrong for me. A critical hit Surfs takes out my Tyranitar, another huge loss in the first Elite Four. Claus goes to the battlefield to try fix this mess, doing his Sword Dance shenanigans. And hey, it works! Cloysters comes next, and Zangoose is able to slash him in half. Jinx also shares the same fate, but then Lapras gets sent out. And I just know the slash trick won't work with this monster. I try it, nevertheless, and I am really surprised to see how much health Claus was able to deal. But Lapras retaliates with a Confuse Ray. Claus hurts himself in confusion the next turn, and the Ice Beam finishes the job. It is time to send out the big boy, but I am now realizing that even if I make it past Lorelei, the following battles will be almost impossible to win. Giga Chat gets confused, but proves why he deserves his nickname and low kicks the Lapras, ending the battle. To be fair, 2 of my deaths in this fight were a direct result of bad luck, but the thing is, folks, in Pokemon you have to play around bad luck, so at the end of the day, it is my fault that Stego and Caesar died the way they did. It was a risky play and it didn't work. Just like that. Shit happens sometimes. Next battle is Bruno with his fighting type team. In this one I also commit a fatal mistake right at the beginning. Thinking it is purely a fight type team, I lead with Sandlash and soon discover that an Onix is waiting for me. Then, I don't immediately switch out because I am stupid, and I even use Dig to try to take out the Onix. My deserved punishment? A 200 base power Earthquake that murders Sandslash in this life, the afterlife, and the life after that one. I am kidding. Onix attack is crap, so I get to live. But I shouldn't. Now I decide to switch to Senna, as I see that Earthquakes aren't so bad after all, and surf the Onix away from me. Next comes Hitmonchan, that almost kills my Walrein with a Sky Uppercut, so I switch to Giga Chat, but he gets critical hit. Another Sky Uppercut from Hitmonchan finishes my Machamp, who dies after a lifetime of being a pure alpha. Dersey comes out and uses Dig, which I thought was super effective, but it turns out it is not. What is really effective at killing my Sandlash though is a counter right after my attack. So yeah, Dersey goes down and I'm left with Senta, my last standing Pokemon. I go for Surf, Hitmonchan gets fully healed, and a Sky Uppercut ends my 5th attempt at Pokemon Fire Red Roulette Lock. I perished right at the gates of victory. So, critical hits played a huge role in these two last battles, but I think that my team was doomed from the start, and that, with enough luck, I would just prolong the inevitable. However, this was a really fun challenge. It is not over, as I haven't beat it yet, so I will return someday to the Kanto region with my fortune wheel and my dice to try to conquer the Pokémon League. But vengeance will have to wait for now. If you made it all the way here, first of all, what a beautiful person. And second of all, thank you so much. As always, I will humbly ask you to subscribe to Wild Rush for more content, give us a like if you enjoyed it, comment your thoughts about this incredible journey, and share the video with everyone who might be interested. Until we meet again,